Canadian cities that have disappeared forever. Imagine this: a once thriving town filled with the laughter of children echoing through alleyways and families dreaming of a brighter future. But now, everything is silent and empty. The once bustling streets have faded into shadows. Abandoned buildings remain, leaving behind the sad stories of the past. Across Canada, there are cities that have been entirely abandoned, places that once symbolized prosperity and growth, now only remnants of time. What led to their abandonment? Was it an unexpected disaster, the collapse of a key industry, or some other mysterious factor yet unknown? In this article, we'll explore these once promising places, now forgotten, leaving behind mysteries with no answers. Join us on a captivating journey through Canada's lost cities and hear the stories of what made them fall to ruin. Is there any hope these places could one day revive, or will they forever remain as ghosts of the past? Barkerville, British Columbia, the forgotten city of golden dreams. Barkerville, British Columbia, is one of Canada's most famous ghost towns, bearing the marks of the Cariboo Gold Rush of the 1860s. Back then, thousands flocked here in hopes of striking it rich from newly discovered gold deposits. Barkerville quickly transformed from a small, remote settlement into a bustling town, offering hope and opportunity for adventurers from all over. Barkerville's main street was like a lively artery, lined with hotels, saloons, shops, and even a theatre, making it a true icon of vibrant, hopeful life. However, like many gold rush towns, Barkerville couldn't escape the inevitable decline as gold supplies dwindled. With fewer prospects, residents began leaving, searching for new fortunes elsewhere. By the early 20th century, Barkerville was nearly abandoned, leaving only traces of its brief golden age. Today, Barkerville is preserved as a National Historic Site, a living museum offering visitors a chance to step back in time, wander its old streets, and glimpse the relics of the gold rush era. Though no longer a bustling center, Barkerville stands as a strange reminder of past prosperity, showing us how fortunes can come and go in the blink of an eye. For Canada, Barkerville remains an important chapter in history, illustrating the rise and fall that can happen in a town built on dreams of gold. Gagnon, Quebec, the town erased from the map. If Barkerville represents a quiet decline, Gagnon, Quebec tells a different story. Not only was this town abandoned, it was also completely erased from the map. Founded in the 1960s, Gagnon grew around rich iron ore mines, quickly developing into a lively community with homes, schools, and all the amenities of a thriving town. It was a symbol of economic success in Quebec's remote northern region, where life flourished and families settled down with hopes that the mine's prosperity would last. But Gagnon's fortunes didn't hold for long. In the 1980s, the iron ore mines closed, ending the town's economic lifeline. With no industry to sustain the community, Gagnon was abandoned almost overnight. But what makes Gagnon's story so unique and somber is that rather than leaving behind empty houses and ruins, authorities decided to erase the town entirely. Every building, every bit of infrastructure was dismantled. Today, what was once Gagnon is just an empty forest clearing, with no trace of life that once existed there. Gagnon is one of the rare cases where a town vanished without leaving a single ruin, becoming a fleeting memory in history. It serves as a reminder of how dependent towns can be on the industries that build them and how quickly they can disappear when those industries collapse. From a vibrant town to a silent forest, Gagnon stands as a testament to the fleeting nature of industrial towns in the harsh flow of time. Kitsault, British Columbia, a town frozen in time. Our next stop on the journey through Canada's forgotten towns is Kitsault, British Columbia, a place so unusual it seems frozen in time. Built in the late 1970s to serve workers at a new molybdenum mine, Kitsault was equipped with all the modern amenities any community could dream of. The town boasted modern housing, a shopping center, a hospital, and even a movie theater. Designed as an ideal place for workers and their families, Kitsault had the appearance of a prosperous, thriving community. But like many industrial towns, Kitsault's fate changed quickly. Just 18 months after the town began, molybdenum prices dropped dramatically, leading to the mine's closure in 1982. Almost overnight, residents left in a hurry, leaving the town in the same condition as when they arrived. What makes Kitsault unique and fascinating is that unlike other ghost towns with crumbling ruins and empty streets, the town remains fully intact. Everything from houses, stores, and infrastructure looks as though time has stopped. Electricity still works, lawns are maintained, and the streets are clean. Yet Kitsault remains empty, without a single soul. Looking more like a movie set than a ghost town, Kitsault is known as a modern ghost town and serves as a strange symbol of fast-changing fortunes. Today, the town is owned by a private entrepreneur who hopes to revitalize it in the future. However, Kitsault remains frozen in time, a reminder of the fragility of industrial towns and the unpredictable twists of fate. Val-Jalbert, Quebec, a living museum amidst the flow of time. The journey through Canada's abandoned towns brings us to Val-Jalbert, Quebec, a rare example of a town that has found new life as a living museum. Established in the early 20th century, Val-Jalbert was an industrial town built around a large pulp mill to meet the rising demand for paper in North America. With modern amenities of the time, such as electricity and well-built homes, Val-Jalbert attracted many workers who settled there to build a stable life. Life in Val-Jalbert thrived due to the booming paper industry, but the town's fate depended entirely on the mill's survival. In 1927, when the mill shut down, Val-Jalbert quickly fell into decline. With no jobs or economic stability, residents began leaving the town in silence. By the 1930s, Val-Jalbert was completely abandoned, with nature slowly reclaiming its streets, buildings, and remnants of its golden age. However, Val-Jalbert's story differs from other ghost towns. Instead of fading into obscurity, Val-Jalbert was revived and preserved as a living museum. The town's houses, shops, and infrastructure have been carefully restored, allowing visitors to step back in time and experience life as it was in the early 20th century. Walking through Val-Jalbert today offers a vivid experience of the town's prosperous past, a historical snapshot of a time when machines buzzed and people thrived. Though the mill's machines have long stopped, Val-Jalbert endures as a testament to the ups and downs of Canada's industrial towns, where communities rise and fall with the economy. Val-Jalbert is more than a ghost town. It's an open-air museum, a place where history remains alive, telling the story of life, growth, and the decline of towns reliant on industry, a vivid glimpse into the past amid modern times. Bankhead, Alberta, a ghost town amid the Canadian Rockies. Bankhead, Alberta, has a unique story in Canada's coal mining history. Established in the early 1900s, Bankhead was created to serve a coal mine set against the breathtaking backdrop of the Canadian Rockies. The coal mine here was essential, fueling locomotives for the Canadian Railroad and aiding in the development of Western Canada. Initially, Bankhead thrived, home to hundreds of miners and their families. Facilities like churches, schools, and community centers made Bankhead a lively town, with the look of a community with a bright future. However, Bankhead's fortune quickly faltered. The mine began to face challenges due to low-quality coal, causing operational issues. Labor disputes and a decline in coal demand further made mining unsustainable. In 1922, after only 2 decades, Bankhead's mine closed. With the mine inactive, residents had little reason to stay, and the town gradually emptied. Buildings were dismantled or moved to nearby towns like Banff, leaving behind only a few scattered remnants in nature. Today, Bankhead is a ghost town, with ruins scattered among the trees, creating a scene where nature and forgotten history intertwine. Visitors to Bankhead can still find traces of old buildings, rusted mining equipment, and even the foundations of homes that once housed mining families. Now part of Banff National Park, Bankhead stands as a quiet reminder of a time when an entire community was built around coal and vanished in an instant. The remains form an eerie landscape where nature's raw beauty blends with industrial remnants, creating a heritage woven by both people and the wild. Frank, Alberta, the tragic ghost town beneath Turtle Mountain. Our final stop on this journey takes us to Frank, Alberta, one of Canada's most tragic ghost towns. Established in the early 1900s, Frank quickly became a bustling coal mining community at the base of Turtle Mountain. With abundant coal resources, the town attracted numerous miners and their families, turning it into a promising community. Frank's future seemed bright, until a terrible disaster struck. In the early hours of April 29, 1903, the towering Turtle Mountain above Frank collapsed in a catastrophic rockslide known as the Frank Slide. In a matter of seconds, over 82 million tons of limestone crashed down, burying much of the town under the debris. Homes, buildings, and even a section of the railroad were destroyed instantly. Around 100 people lost their lives in this tragedy, leaving survivors to cope with an unimaginable loss. Although part of the town survived the slide, the looming threat of another disaster led many residents to leave Frank permanently. Mining operations struggled to recover, and Frank's population dwindled over time. By the mid-20th century, the town was nearly deserted. Today, Frank is famous for its memorial to one of Canada's worst natural disasters. The remnants of the rock slide remain untouched, a silent and powerful reminder of nature's formidable power and the tragic fate of the town. Frank has become a symbol of how quickly nature can overpower human hopes in an instant. And so ends the story of 6 Canadian cities that once thrived but now exist only in memory. Which story left the deepest impression on you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoy tales of these forgotten places, don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating stories. Your support, even just a click, is a huge motivation for us to continue exploring. Thank you for reading.